Good morning, OTYB alumni. Tina Mitchell here for the OTYB Success Challenge for the week. Normally, we have this at 12 o'clock, but I do have an engagement this afternoon, so I wanted to make sure I did get a Facebook Live out to you so that you have a challenge for this week. Again, this space I've created for the graduates from the OTYB 8-week burn, so everybody that's a part of this private group has graduated through the course, and this is really an opportunity to assist and be a support for you to help you with the implementation of everything that you learned during our 8 weeks together. So last week's challenge was how you start your day out. So for our second week together, I thought it would be a great challenge to challenge you on how you end your day. As I talked about last week, how you start your day is going to determine the day that you're going to have, but as well, how you wrap up and end and finish your day will determine the start of your day moving forward. So if you don't wrap it up and complete that day in the completeness and fullness in the spirit of one-timing, which we'll talk about, then your day doesn't start out so well, and that can actually compound into the days ahead moving forward through the week. So the first thing is to be committed to wrapping up everything that you need to do before the end of the day, before you allow yourself to go home for the evening. Now, sometimes this means that you might need to grind or give it a burn and work a little bit longer than what you might have done. The reality is if you don't wrap up and complete your day so that you can get home at whatever hour you normally leave the office at, then that is going to compound and still be there for the next day. And if you continue that process, that's where things get urgent, where that emotional stress comes in. And so the way you wrap up your day is going to be how you're able to release that emotional stress that gets bogged up. And again, sometimes you just have to be committed to make sure that you completely wrap it up. So the two areas, first of all, is the task that you committed to doing in the day that you started. You want to make sure that you allow complete those in full completion so that those tasks are done, and then you can come in fresh for the next day, make a commitment to the task that you want to move forward with for that day. Again, completing those before you wrap up the day. Also, another important thing is your email. To make sure that you wrap up your email. Now, we talked about in week 3, the emotional attachment that majority of people have to their inbox. And I believe that one of those reasons is because not being committed to wrapping up, completing and emptying out everything that's in your inbox. Now, of course, there are other tips that I shared with you, email tips that are critically important. You can go back to your coursework from week 3 and you can look at my 15 email tips that will completely release the emotional stress that you have to your inbox. So there are other tips that go into play with this that I don't have time to go over today for this challenge. But the wrap up is one of those tips. Staying committed to wrapping up all that's in your inbox. If you do this, then tomorrow when you start your day, you're not starting from behind, needing to complete emails that are in your inbox. So again, this may keep you in the office until 9, 10 o'clock at night, maybe 11, who knows, maybe even midnight if it was a real crazy day. But the reality is these are going to be one-off late nights in the office. Because if you commit to wrapping those up, you're going to start fresh tomorrow morning. And then most likely it's not going to be another crazy day, because those crazy days actually compound from the days that you're not getting things completed from the day before. So those one-off occasions where something didn't go perfect, you had extra things that came up or extra meetings or something, you just need to stay committed to completing and wrapping up all of those emails. So I want you to just visualize for a second here on our time together with our Facebook Live. What would that look like for you if you came in the morning and the only new emails that were there were things that came in after you wrapped up and emptied out your inbox? That feels good, doesn't it? This is how your morning can look every day. Now, last week we talked about being able to wake up in the morning, stepping out of bed, ready to conquer your day. That's what it feels like. If you have an inbox that has things left over or tasks that are left over from the day before, it's hard to, almost impossible to start in that space. So stay committed this week to wrapping up your inbox. Remember to go back to week 3, check out your coursework, and look at the other email tips, because there's critical tips that go into conjunction with this that you can actually are able to do this when you're setting up your rules, your groups, setting up your follow-up. So people that have not done a call to action that they need to do so that you can complete your process. That's something you don't want to sit in your inbox, but you can set up a follow-up rule. So again, go back and check out those tips so that you can really see how this is possible for you to have the 1-day rule in your inbox and get those wrapped up. Now that you've wrapped up your business, you're ready to go home and really be able to enjoy your time with your family, with yourself, whatever those things that you really enjoy doing when you've shut your business down for the day, you truly can embrace in that moment, because there's no guilt feeling of things that you've left undone, tasks or emails in your inbox. You know that you've cleared everything out. Majority of the time, it's going to be on time. If your day wraps up at 5, 6, or 7, whatever that is, majority of the time it will always be like that. If for the one-off days that you need to grind or do a little bit of burn to stay committed to finishing those things, and then again, you can enjoy your time. Now, I want to go ahead and step into the next step. So we've talked about wrapping up your day at the office. Now let's talk about how you wrap up your night before you go to bed. Now, I think that this is really important to do this right before you're ready to go to bed. Just like any other routine, you should be going to bed the same time every night. Creating a habit and routines are critically important to get in the spirit of time blocking and having a process and a system that you follow the same every day. So whenever that is for you, if it's 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, I actually go to bed at midnight and I get up at 6. So for me, 6 hours is all I need. I feel that I've gotten great sleep, but I have a deep sleep and really get to embrace in that moment because of the way I wrap up my day. Now, right before I go to bed, I start my evening wrap up an hour typically before I'm going to go to bed. So usually at 11 o'clock, I go into my home office and I get ready to wrap up my night. Now, I talked about with you last week in how to start your day is all about motivation. Motivation is critically important in the morning so that you can be fired up and ready to conquer your day. At nighttime, it's reserved for inspiration. You don't want to do any motivational activities before you go to bed, because now it's time to go to sleep, have warm and fuzzy dreams, and to really be able to shut things down for the night. That's how you enjoy that sleep space. So stay away from any motivational activities. Those are the things that you want to have in your regular routine for getting ready in the morning. At nighttime, it's all about inspiration. Now, there's 3 areas of inspiration I want to talk to you about. And these are regular routines that you can find your way to do it. First is visualization. I feel that visualization is critically important to your success in your business and your success in your life. Visualizing the life that you want for yourself, the life that you want for your family, what you want to do for your community, the business that you want to have. All of the amazing dreams that you have for yourself. It takes visualization and intentional space that you've created of visualization to allow those dreams to manifest themselves. So there are a lot of different ways to do visualization, and I like to do different things so that I can keep it mixed up and have a little bit of fun. So here are some of the things that I have on my rotation in visualizing at night before I go to bed. Now, I visualize all throughout the day. Anytime that I'm out in nature, I'm visualizing of the life that I'm having right now. I like to visualize where I'm at right now and take that to the next step. Whenever I'm have an opportunity to lay on the grass and stare at the sky and visualize. So I visualize any opportunity that I have. But this is an intentional visualization in my activities for wrapping up my day, and it's in my home office at home. So turning on my favorite inspirational music and I already told you last week how I like to blast music. That's just what does it for me, maybe not for you. So even in my inspiration, I like to listen to my music really loud, but it's inspirational music. There's no words. It's just beautiful music, symphony music, nature. I love listening to nature songs where I can hear birds chirping and the rain and the ocean. And so I will actually lay on my floor, on my mat with my eyes closed and visualize my life. That's one way that I do visualization at night as I'm wrapping up my time before I go to bed. Make a vision board poster. So sometimes I'm working on my vision board poster where I'm cutting and pasting things. I actually don't cut and paste. I use velvet, sticky velvet, because I can actually change it up. So I've got a canvas cloth board that I can use for losing my words here. You know what I'm talking about, Velcro tape. That way I can change and rotate the images off. I have all the areas, my health and my family, my success, wealth, and my community, all the different areas and categories that are important to me in my life, which I'm sure are important to you in your life as well. So sometimes during that space in my hour wrap up, I will visualize using my vision board. Other times I'm watching my vision board movie. There are technologies that you can utilize to build vision board movies. So I'll just watch it. Maybe I'll change it up a little and put different things into it. You can put music in there, different pictures and images that move. Write down your life as if it's a storybook, the life that you're already living. I like to do that as well. I have a storybook that I add to. What does my life look like tomorrow, next year, 5 years from now? Sometimes I just go back and read things that I've written down in my storybook life that I'm living right now today. Scribble your dream as if you're doing a cartoon. Now, I don't do this because just doing stick figures is challenging for me. But if you're a drawer, get a big board and draw pictures of what that dream life looks like for you. Now, for my men online, okay, visualization may not seem as natural as it does for females. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's critically important. So find out what that visualization technique and way that you can do that in order to create that space to dream and to visualize the life that you want. Again, I feel it's critically important to your success to have this as your everyday wrap up before you go to bed at night. Now, next is what I do is my reflection. Now, reflection, if you have not already seen Steve Jobs' commencement speech, this is actually where I really engaged at a higher level of reflection. What I used to do for my reflection is I would have a journal, and I don't journal in sentences. I do bullet points. That's just what I like to do. And I would bullet point all of the successes that I had for my day, anything that I can think about. I don't make note of them in the day. I just wait for my wrap up at the end of the day, and I make note of all the successes and bullet point. Then I saw the commencement speech that Steve Jobs did, and he talked about connecting the dots. And it was an aha moment for me because I realized I was missing out on an amazing opportunity to connect the dots of the challenges that happened during the day. Now, in the spirit of one-timing, you guys know, we went through this for the 8 weeks. It's all about embracing your problems and challenges in business so that you can find the opportunities for the solutions. Because I believe, so does Steve Jobs, that the problems and challenges that we deal in our business and our life are connections to the successes that we will see, but only if we embrace them. So I decided to be committed to recognizing, and not just recognizing, but embracing all of the problems and challenges that came up for me during the day, because guess what? They did. The universe is balanced. So as many successes as I have, there are challenges as well. So on the right-hand side of my journal, I continue bullet pointing all of my successes. But then on the other page, on the left side of my journal, I will bullet point all of the problems or challenges that came up during the day. So that's the first part of my reflection. After that, I then review. I look back at the previous dates. No rhyme or reason. Maybe I go back to yesterday. Maybe I go back to a year. Maybe I go back a few months. But a lot of the times when I'm going back in the review of my reflection of previous days, I connect the dots, as Steve Jobs talked about. And I see a problem that happened, and I can remember back at that problem when I wrote that down, as devastating as it was, personally or in business. I can instantly remember and connect the dots of why that happened. It is so amazing to be able to be in a space that you truly can rejoice in complete integrity with yourself of all of the challenges and problems that came up, because you know that some of those will connect to successes that would have never happened if not for that problem or challenge or tragedy that you might be dealing in your life right now. So stay committed to your wrap-up, the wrap-up in your office. Stay committed to going with the grind if you need to wrap everything up so you can truly go home and enjoy your life the evening that you have after you shut your business down. Stay committed to visualization, whatever that is for you, every night, creating that space for you to visualize your life. And stay committed to the reflection, both the good and the bad that came up for the day. And then last, when I talked with you last week about starting your morning, before you even get out of bed, getting up and being thankful. What are those most important things that you can easily just shout out what you're thankful for? The same thing when you go to bed. As you lay down in your bed, before you lay down, voice out what you're thankful for. Most likely, it will be the same thing as you were thankful in the morning. I shared with you last week, my husband Dave, my dog Harley, my stepdaughter Stephanie, my mom and my sister, the opportunities I have, my health. Right before you lay down on your pillow, close your eyes. Can you see the space that you've created for yourself to truly be able to release any stress that you might have and create a very magical space in order to maximize the hours that you're going to be sleeping and have great dreams, and then be able to get them up the next morning, jump out of bed, ready to conquer your day, conquer your business, and conquer your life. That is my challenge for you this week. And I thank you again for allowing me to invite you into this space. I'm excited for you to connect with your peers. Please post something on this Facebook group. Again, it's a private Facebook group. Everybody has gone through the burn. Share what you're experiencing. And then I would like to, for the next 2 weeks, instead of giving you a new challenge, I would like to just stay on the challenge of how you wake up in the morning and how you wrap up your day, how you start your day and end your day, because they are the bookmark to inside your book of life, inside your book of your business, and how you're going to live every day. So for the next couple weeks, I'm just going to have a Facebook Live for you guys to just share, ask questions that you have. So please show up if you're available. It will be at 12 o'clock from 12 to 12:30 next Wednesday. And think about anything that you want to ask me that I can share in the space next week. So thank you again, everybody. I'm honored to be here with you, and I'm just so happy to have you in my life, have you as my friends, have you as my business partners, and I'm here to help you succeed in business. I'm here to help you in this market, and anything that I can do to be a support of you, and I'm honored to be able to have that opportunity. Thank you, and have an amazing day. Bye.